This is Father Andrew Ritchie, and you're listening to Catholic Inspiration, a podcast from my website at studyprayserve.com. These homilies, presentations, and retreats form part of my ministry as a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. And now I invite you to open your hearts to some Catholic inspiration. Today is Saturday of the third week of Lent. Our gospel reading is Luke chapter 18, verses 9 to 14. Jesus addressed this parable to those who were convinced of their own righteousness and despised everyone else. Two people went up to the temple area to pray. One was a Pharisee, the other was a tax collector. The Pharisee took up his position and spoke this prayer to himself. "O God, I thank you that I am not like the rest of humanity, greedy, dishonest, adulterous, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week, and I pay tithes on my whole income." But the tax collector stood off at a distance and would not even raise his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast and prayed, "O God, be merciful to me, a sinner." I tell you, the latter went home justified, not the former. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and the one who humbles himself will be exalted. O God, be merciful to me, a sinner. That short little sentence has a lot of spiritual horsepower, and it's one of those lines that, frankly, I would commit it to memory. I'd take that particular passage and photocopy it, put it on the bathroom mirror. That, friends, before we walk out the door, maybe we just need to reflect on how desperately we need God's mercy for the times we've sinned. That way, when we're interacting with others, we really are gentle with others. We're humble with others, towards others. And we're mindful that, frankly, if God's going to forgive us our sins, then we might cut a little slack to the people when they mess up around us. I'm not saying we justify bad behavior. I'm just saying that this prayer is a powerful prayer because it's real. Oh God, it's directed to the Lord. Be merciful. That's what we're asking for. To me, a sinner. To be able to call it out, not to come up with excuses, not to try to spin it, make it look better than it really is. None of that. Not to get defensive. Just call it out. Oh God, be merciful to me, a sinner. Nobody wants to look at their sins. Nobody wants to dig into the dark corners of the heart where we'd rather just keep a lid on that, lock it down, and never go back. But friends, who are we kidding? Jesus knows. It's not like the Lord doesn't see clearly into our hearts and minds and souls. It's not like God doesn't know. So who are we kidding? And the minute that we bring those sins to the light of day, they lose their power. When we turn to the one who has the right to forgive, who came, suffered, died, rose, washes us clean with his precious blood, that put paid in full to all our sins. He knows our hearts. So we just make this prayer. No spin, no excuses, heart to heart. Oh God, be merciful. I find this a very powerful prayer and a good one to use when I've made mistakes, reminding me to be gentle with the mistakes of others and reminding me to keep my need for God's mercy always before me, so that as I'm speaking with other people and acting with other people and working with other people, I ask for God's grace to guide what I say and do. I commend that to all of us, that we take this particular parable that Jesus is giving. Remember, he's telling this to people who are convinced of their own righteousness. Well, sometimes we can get a little too convinced that, oh, we're good, I'm good with God, nothing going on. Well, sometimes just a little self-examination, a little self-knowledge. We go, well, maybe I'm not quite so perfect after all. That, my friends, is the beginning of humility because it's an honest assessment of where we are and how far we need to grow in the spiritual life. Oh God, be merciful to me, a sinner. Right here, right now. That prayer, let's keep it near us. That prayer, let's use it often. And let's be reminded by that prayer how much we rely on God's mercy in the face of our sins, cultivating a humble heart, cultivating an openness to looking in those dark places and allowing God's grace to bring light and healing to our hearts. God bless you all. This is Father Andrew, and I hope this podcast inspires your faith. Now, if you found it helpful, please share it with a friend. And you can help me by leaving a rating and a review. I keep all my listeners in my daily prayers, and I ask for your prayers in return. God bless you, my friends.